guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm That Fat Guy, and today's another episode of Fat Chat. It is episode 9, and I've spoken to some awesome people already, and I got all sorts of different perspectives on weight loss journeys. This one is going to be completely different to all of those, because today I've got my Mrs. Angela on the line, and she's going to talk about her dealings with the lady shake, but also what it's like to deal with me, that fat guy. So Angela, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Dal. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Some of you might be thinking right away, why aren't they sitting both outside or both inside, or why are they doing this over Zoom? Very quickly, Zoom already edits like the camera facing kind of thing, and in the interest of time and editing, if I set up 2 cameras, it would have taken and I just don't have the time. There's a pup outside. So how's your day going, Angela?
It's good. I've got a day for today and I'm triggering the dog. They're all going off. But yeah, I'm good. I've done a bit of baking today, which was nice. Cooked us some treats.
Yes. I've tried that. Can you I had a little bit of it before we came on the air, and it tastes so good. What did you make?
Oh, okay. So I made, you see on, I think it's on both the Man Shake and Lady Shake page, there's a slice you can make. It's like with peanut butter and protein, the powder and all that. I've started using different types of nuts. So today, almonds and pecan, and I made that into a butter, and then added a bit of psyllium husk, the rice crisps, the maple syrup. I might get Ash to just put the recipe up if he wants to.
Yeah, I'll do it that way. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in it, all designed to help us poop.
And it tastes great. And for me, I love to be able to still have a nice treat and be healthy. So.
Well, it is certainly healthy, and it does taste good. It feels like you're having a real sort of treat, and it's just amazing the little differences that you can make to these recipes and completely transform the flavor. But so look, I know everything about you. We've been together for going on 11 years and 11 long years.
Harsh.
No.
11 amazing years. Yes.
Well, I mean, look at her, guys. I'm absolutely punching. I can't believe it. But Angela, tell us a little bit about yourself for anyone who doesn't know you.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know me, I am that fat guy's fiance. Name's Angela. We have our little daughter together who is amazing and lights up our lives. And I work in an admin role for organizational development, which I love where I work. And I'm a vegetarian, which might strike a bit of interest.
Yes. That I knew going into this relationship originally, guys, everyone, so you're out there. Angela's been a vegetarian how long? Like pretty much all your life?
Well, all my life, because I've never really liked meat. But technically since I was 17.
But you eat
a very long time.
You eat lots of cheese, don't you? You non-stop.
Oh yeah, I eat a lot of dairy. Yes, lots of cheese. I don't think I could live life without cheese.
So it certainly makes dinner time interesting for both of us. I will generally tend to lean towards the meat side of things, whereas Angela has a vegetarian option. So we often find that we might be cooking completely 2 separate meals. And that does make, the whole keeping healthy, weight loss kind of thing a bit harder and more expensive, doesn't it?
It definitely makes it more expensive. We try to think of meals where it's both a vegetarian version and a meat version, but you do sometimes have to do 2 batches. And so it's double the cost for the 1 meal sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of the Mexican stuff, you can just do 2 separate batches, your tofu mince taco meat, and then just regular everyday people meat, so Yeah, also you are a big NRL supporter as well.
Yes, I love the Rabbitohs. That grand final was a highlight of my life.
So me proposing to you was not the highlight?
Well, that's up there.
And our daughter being born?
Having our child. It's a nice, you and Alyssa are up the top. And then, of course, the grand final, that was a good moment. So
good to know we're up there.
It's magic.
So those people that are on my channel would be aware, very much aware, that I'm on the Man Shake, but also you have started the Lady Shake.
Yes, I certainly have.
Why?
Well, probably different reasons to yourself. I haven't really needed to lose a lot of weight, but at times I do. I have some medical problems where the medication I'm on will make me gain weight, and it can be up to 20 kilos and rapidly gain weight. So to have something available that's a bit more calorie controlled, I feel is a really good option for when I am on the medication. But also just with work, I find that our lives are so busy that I don't always have time for breakfast. And it's so convenient and easy and healthy. There's a lot of things that are appealing about the Lady Shake to me.
Well, like you originally tried some of my Man Shake and you really liked the chopped mint. What are your go-to flavors at the moment for the Lady Shake?
So I actually, chopped mint is my favorite, and I have that almost every day. And sometimes for lunch or a snack, I will do a smoothie with strawberry. I like the bit of a strawberry smoothie. Add a bit of banana.
I have yet to get one of those, so thank you. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of banana, a bit of raspberry, and the strawberry shake. Goes really well with almond milk. Love it. And then I use the vanilla and the chocolate for cooking a lot.
Yeah.
Slices.
Yeah, I find that the vanilla and chocolate are in the pantry constantly just for kind of cooking purposes. So they seem to work really well. How are you finding the Lady Shake, like in terms of like the results and how you feel?
I've lost a couple of kilos, which was really a nice surprise. And at the moment with the current climate, I have been working from home a little bit, so also exercising, and I think just that combination, I've lost about 3 kilos in about 2 months.
Well, you haven't had much to lose because you're doing, you're pretty trim, but yeah, I've certainly noticed it's given you more energy and more motivation to look at healthier food options.
Yeah, so I definitely have a lot more energy to get through my morning and sort of get up and exercise and get on with the day. So it's a good way for me to start the day. And I like that there are recipes we can follow with the protein powder, with the shakes. And because I love chocolate, it's my vice. It is my favorite food in the world. And, with supporting you on your weight loss journey and also thinking about our daughter and what she puts into her body, I'd rather it be healthy. So I love being able to cook with the shake, the Lady Shake, and make yummy, treats.
Yeah, like having a 4-year-old, she's obsessed with anything fried, like nuggets and chips and that, but also chocolates and sweets. Like she just goes crazy for. So if we can have like a healthier option where she thinks that she's getting something bad, I love it. And she's also on the kids' breakfast shake, and she's absolutely loving it. She goes nuts for it every day. So I'm pretty happy with that. But I think that the Lady Shake for you has been very beneficial, like changing your whole mental like aspect. Like, for me dealing with you, you seem to be a lot happier throughout the day.
Okay.
And maybe because I'm not annoying you as much. Maybe I'm trying.
Yeah, maybe it's you. Just thinking. No, look, one thing I did realize probably a month or so ago, is I actually looked at what I was having for breakfast before I started the shake. And what I would normally have, which I thought was healthy, was yogurt with some raspberries, frozen raspberries, and like a healthy granola or some kind of nice muesli mix to go on top.
Yeah, they trick you with that.
Yeah. And when I looked at how much sugar was inside the yogurt, which we're also giving to our child, 17 grams in one serving, and it floored me. I thought, shit, I can't be giving her, I can't be eating all this crap, and neither can she. So that's when I really started looking into what can we do that still feels like a treat.
I can hear that in the room upstairs. Keep going. So yeah, looking at 17 grams, healthy treat for the kid.
Yeah, so I just wanted to it made me really change how I looked at food and what is being sold to us in the supermarkets. So now I look a lot more at the sugar intake.
Look, yeah, it's scary on how people have that perception on some foods being healthy regardless. And yogurt is one of those real hidden ones where there's just a tremendous amount of sugar in it. It's Greeks, and they try to mask it by saying like Greek style yogurt as opposed to Greek yogurt. And it's just that one little word that makes a huge difference in the nutritional value of it. And since starting the Man Shake for myself, it has made me very much aware and more, well, not aware, but like more attentive into looking at, the backs of things, looking at the intake of stuff. And though I'm not counting calories, and neither are you at the moment, we're both losing weight and much happier, aren't we?
Yeah.
Obviously, you got the idea for Lady Shake from me, but I think you're a bit surprised that some of our friends had started the Lady Shake before you, and yeah, we're loving it.
I think a lot of our friends had watched you.
Yeah.
And seen how that sort of the impact the shakes have had on you, and it inspired some of them. I think a few people were on the Man Shake and we didn't know it as well. So it's quite popular in our friend group.
Well, yeah, it certainly is growing in popularity. So we've been together for 11 years. Isn't that close to 11 years, was it?
Yes, almost.
I'm glad I remembered that. And I'm sure during this entire 11-year stretch, I've been just perfect. I've never frustrated you in any way. Is that right?
Never. You're an angel. What can I say?
Good answer. I'll pay you later. No, it's look, over the years that we've been together, and I'll openly admit, I have gained and lost like so much weight. It's ridiculous. Like I've fluctuated greatly. How do you think this time will be any different in relation to the last?
I think the difference this time is your attitude. So if I can go over what it's been like in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Be honest.
So in the past, it's been a bit like a chore. Like, oh, no one likes housework. And for you, you'll look at yourself and you go, oh, I've got to get back on it. I've got to lose the weight. But the way you feel about having to do that is it's like a punishment. And so whatever kind of method you chose in the past, you were punishing yourself in a way. So you would go on this diet of eating this high protein, bland, healthy food, working out at the gym nonstop, and fasting. And all of that was just, well, I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting anyway. I can't go without food. But it was all like forms of punishment in my eyes. And it was always a challenge and really hard for you to do, and to kind of mentally get yourself psyched up for and to do it. And so it would then become really easy for you to fall off track. Yeah. And, you wouldn't have the cheat meal or reward meal. I'm not sure what you call it at the moment.
Celebration meal.
Yeah. So you wouldn't even allow yourself that.
No.
And so if you then went and had KFC or Macca's, you would come crumbling apart and you would feel guilty. You would hate yourself and you would just be like, that's it. I'm off the wagon. I'm done. And it would just take one little thing like that, and then you would fall off the health kick and stop going to the gym, and you would eat more and more KFC and more McDonald's and all the crappy food. And, you know, there's so many times we've had a lot of conversations about balance and a different approach. It's okay to have the crappy food as long as you know, have that treat meal, so long as everything else is healthy and balanced. And I think the difference this time is we had a really good conversation about your approach to it. And I know that I suggested thinking outside the square of what you've done before, because you always end up in the same place. You know, you kind of get this routine. I've got to get onto this. I've got to do that. It's a chore. You don't enjoy it. And then you fall off that wagon and you punish yourself more. And so with that, I think it made you think about a better way to approach your weight loss and to look at something sustainable. And you've sought a lot of support this time as well. Like,
that's for damn certain.
Hello.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, that's a damn certain. And like I'm calling it a success because it's going on, well, it's just about 5 months in. And I've like lost close to 35 kilos and I'm still going and I have no intention of stopping. Exactly like what you said before, like I would start and 1 month into something new, I would fall off that wagon and like, I'd be stoked the fact that I lost like 10 or 15 kilos or whatever it was in that first month, because I was kicking my own butt, but it wasn't sustainable. And I look back at that during the time you're saying that, it was like, I was looking back and thinking, man, I wasted so much time. Yeah, I could have been fit and healthy for like the last 10 years if I just did things differently, you know, but I guess it's all like a learning experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you are where you are now because of all of that, you know, and you're reaching other people, and hopefully that can help if anyone's been locked in the same pattern that you were, for them to also look at ways they could explore a better supportive, sustainable approach for them.
Well, we like when we heard news, and I'll just do a bit of history chat here for anyone who's somewhat new to the channel. But back in 2015, I think it was, we got engaged and we were pregnant with our daughter, and we had an engagement kind of dinner, and I saw a picture of myself that just, you know, I looked at the picture and I had to do a double take. Like I looked at it and then I was like, who's that fat dude holding my fiance like that? And then it took a second or two to realize that was me. I didn't even recognize myself. You know, and then I went on this dramatic like weight loss journey where I was intermittent fasting, and I managed to go for a full year. So from November 2015 to November 2016, was it 2016 November?
Yeah.
And that was during parental leave where I was at home for 6 months as well. And I stuck to it like religiously, intermittent fasting till 2 p.m. every day, eating nothing but oats, high protein dinners, and, you know, just muscle meals and just really bland stuff. And I lost a bunch of weight and I was feeling good, going to the gym 5 days a week. But a huge motivator for that was you and my daughter. And I wanted to be around for Alyssa, you know, for her life. But what do you think happened? Like when I got to, like, I lost all that weight and it came around to November, like a year's anniversary. Like, can you describe what happened to me? Do you have an idea what happened to me after that, leading up to last year?
I think some of it is, well, you returned back to work and then life became a lot more hectic because we had to, I mean, we literally have 45 minutes to get all three of us out the door every morning. It's, you know, one of us gets the train, the other one's driving with drop off to childcare, getting to work, picking up. There wasn't a lot of time. So I think just the mental exhaustion and being a bit time poor to cook or go to the gym. But I also think your health with your sinuses got a lot worse.
Yeah.
And so, and I picked up on that quite a while before your surgery. And I think it took you a little while to really...
Well, be honest, like, tell us what happened. When it started.
Yeah, so it was actually, well, when was it? It was September 2017 is when my eardrum perforated. And so we all have sinus problems in this household. And Ash has...
we're a
Ash
smelly
has always snored. Yeah, we are. Ash has always snored. He's always had a bit of that. And some of that due to weight, some of it due to his sinuses. But it just got worse. And up until September 2017, I could sleep with earplugs in. But because of my sinus issues, I actually woke up in the middle of the night with my ear crackling and pushing the earbud out. Or what is it, the ear, you know?
Yeah, the little foam plug that you put.
Yeah, it's not an earbud, earplug. That's it, not an earbud, an earplug. Yeah. And it was crackling and pushed it out of my ear. And it hurt like hell and perforated it, and I had an infection. So needless to say, I can't wear earplugs ever again. And that's the specialist says that. But what it meant is I also could not sleep in the same room as Ash for quite a long time. And I feel that it took a while for you to accept that your snoring was the reason. You're in a bit of denial and took it personally. But it legitimately was just you were too loud to sleep next to. Like, damn. And you had a sleep study and in the highest decibel range. That's how loud you are.
That sleep study came so much later though, but like, you know, I 100% agree with you, like absolutely 100% denial of it. And like, and you were saying that I was having issues like with my breathing, sleeping like for years, didn't you?
Yeah, you would just, it sounded like you were choking. You'd stop breathing for periods of time and I'd elbow you or put my hand over your mouth and be like, yep, okay, you're still breathing.
What, smothering me or just checking I'm breathing?
Depends on my mood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really troubling. And I think I even recorded you so that you could hear it. And I think that helped you go, okay, yeah, I've got to do something about this. I also noticed just when you were at like sitting and resting, I could hear your breathing and it was really heavy and really loud. So I feel like that probably having sleep apnea, which you were diagnosed with last year, I feel like that would have also played a lot in your mental state of mind, your ability to sleep, because if you can't sleep properly, no, you can't function properly.
Yeah, and that's what the specialist was saying. Like, because I went and saw the specialist, and this is after a long time. Like, so, like, you know, with my weight gain, anything when it comes health related for me, Angela can probably attest to this, but I get super defensive. Like, just war goes up as soon as you bring it up. Like, what was? I'll get back to that in just a second, but I saw the specialist, and this is after I had like several sinus infections in a short amount of time. I'm talking about like 3 months. I had like 6, and one, like, I had to leave work a few times because I had so much pressure behind my eyes that it was affecting my vision, and I couldn't I couldn't make my eyes do what I wanted them to do. I was like trying to focus on the screen. I'm just like, going a bit crazy there. And yeah, I led to that operation, and it was the operation day last year in November that I weighed in on the scales, the industrial scales, like look like they can, weigh a freaking car on. And it came up as 160.7 kilos. I was like, damn, I need to make a change. But how was it for you, Angela, dealing with me when I was defensive?
Oh, it was challenging. It was
Yeah.
hard. It was really hard. And it's because you're defensive because your feelings are hurt as well. So there were times where I would try to help and be like, okay, come on, you've got to do something about this. And then I can't do anything more. And I realized there's actually nothing I could do that was going to make you change. It was something you had to come to on your own. But during that time, yeah, the moods can be very difficult to deal with. So you could be stubborn and dogmatic and be like, nope, I don't want to do that, or just a bit hard to cope with your moods.
Yeah, and looking back at it, like in hindsight, I 100% understand where you're coming from. I understand it, like, because it's me. Walls go up. But if you could give any advice to any blokes or ladies out there that might be struggling with, motivating their partner or talking about that kind of thing with their partner, what kind of advice would you give?
Now, that's a good question. It's a hard one because you don't want to hurt the person you love the most. Like, you don't want to hurt their feelings, and you know that any conversation you have could do that. And I think that's the hardest thing. What I think someone that's struggling with their weight needs to just accept it. And I don't mean to be harsh in saying that, but if you are overweight and you need to lose the weight, it's okay. We all have our problems. We all come in different shapes and sizes. But I think just to acknowledge, okay, I need to do something about this. My partner, as the partner, try and have conversations, try and be delicate in how you talk about it. I know that I tried a lot of times to talk to you, Ash. Is there anything or any conversation or approach I took that you feel worked the best? That's probably
more apt question. Turn the interview around on me. It's tough because every bloke is different. Some blokes will react well to the more direct approach. And I say blokes, I mean people, sorry, men and women may react well to the direct approach. You're getting fat. What are you going to do about it? But then some people, they're like me, get really defensive, take it super personally, and live in this great big sea of delusion and denial where, you look in the mirror every day, and it's like, I call it environmental blindness. It's when you're around something for so long, you become blind to, like any major, like, little changes. And when you look at yourself in the mirror every day and you're getting a little bit fatter and fatter, because let's face it, you don't gain 20 kilos like overnight and just go, oh, what happened? You gain it over time. And for me, like, even though I was not fitting in clothes properly anymore, I was feeling sick and hating it and just hating myself, I still was just like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why it took me so long to go, I'm going to make a change. I honestly don't. I actually don't have an answer for it. But in terms of, like, you coming to me and talking about it, I don't think for me any of your ways of talking to me actually got through. I think it was down to me to make that conscious decision for myself to make a change. And it must have been so frustrating for you, like,
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, when the old, you know, police, law enforcement came across Ned Kelly and they're just shooting bullets and they're pinging off his helmet. I can imagine that's just what it must have been like.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why in the end, I stopped talking about it unless you did. I wouldn't really raise your weight with you. I think probably a saving grace for you is that you had the sinus problems, because I think something that everyone should consider is if you have an underlying cause. So there could be something medical that's leading to your weight as well. And for Ash, his sinus problems were completely preventing him from breathing. Like, the specialist had to stop halfway through his surgery because his wrist was sore from cutting all the crap out of his nose. And he said, I don't know how you could breathe through your nose. That's how bad he was. So Ash let it get that bad. And it took multiple infections and a CT scan to go, dude, you need an operation. And then the specialist actually told you needed to lose weight, but it wouldn't happen until after your surgery. So I think for you, it was a bit lucky in a way that you needed the surgery, because now you can sleep better, you can function better. So there might be more going on, and just be open to that, and having a chat with your GP is probably the best advice I could have for someone.
100%. If you're overweight and you're wanting to speak to like a doctor or something about it, go in there with the notion, like the idea of having that conversation lined up in your pocket, right? Because if you're at the weight that I was, like 160 plus, your doctors will bring it up. They will, you know, as soon as I walked into the doctor's office, roll up the arm, take blood pressure, because they're afraid to see, you know, what my blood pressure's doing. You know, like I literally have my blood pressure taken every time. And I constantly be asked questions, like weight related questions, like little probing questions in it. And I know that that's the doctor doing their due diligence. And I'm not sure like whether it's any different for, you know, regular sized people, but, you know, like is every time, regardless of what I went in for, blood pressure. For me, I have my doctor raise it to me a couple of times, and I give my doctor credit, because they actually cared enough to say something. But just like you, it just ricocheted off me. I was just like, no. Yeah, and it's just tough. Like, I mean, to look back and think back, you know, what I was like, I don't know. It's just tough. I don't know why I went through all that to make my own life just so difficult. And, you know, to get the letter saying that I was in pre-diabetes, like, it was just like I was laying in a coffin, and I was just handing up the nails to people to start hammering the lid shut. And yeah, it's scary to think that. Look, I'm really not sure why I was like acting like. I look back and I think, why was I like that? Why was I thinking that way? Like, surely that must have put like some serious strain on the, other than sleeping separate rooms. Like, what kind of other changes would you see in me, and what kind of strains did that put on our relationship?
You lacked sort of confidence and didn't like your appearance. And so I guess it was a lot of not wanting to go places or being in photos. You especially did not like to be in photos with our little one, which was really sad, because you guys would have such fun moments, and then you would just look at the photo and hate what you saw. And yeah, that was really hard.
Okay, that's got me. Yeah, that got me pretty hard. You know, you're 100% right. Like, I look at the photo and just say, oh, delete it. And I have this whole period where I got like just such little photos of me and my daughter because I hated myself and the way I looked. Oh, jeez. Ask me something else.
Something else, something fun. But you know that we love you, you know, and that's the main thing, is that we're here always to support you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the support I get from this channel and everyone out there, all my subscribers and such, because it really means the world to me. And hopefully I'm helping other people too. And you know, I say hopefully, but I get messages confirming that I am, and that helps me chug along, helps me, gives me motivation to keep going. And you know, there's a few people out there like that are just ride or die subscribers that will watch every video to the end, and like, you know who you are, but you guys have really been instrumental in me doing what I'm doing and to give me the motivation to keep going. And I really do appreciate that. And the biggest one that I want to call out here is you, Angela. You have helped me so much in so many ways with this journey, in so many things that you do, because people out there mightn't realize that to do a daily video upload, it takes a significant amount of time. You know, it takes time out of every day, out of every afternoon. And sometimes I do get stressed. And Angela, you've picked up, you know, you've picked up a lot of the weight, you know, the weight carrying around the household in terms of, you know, helping out with Alyssa and, you know, getting dinners ready and all of that. And I can't thank you enough. And you've just been so supportive in helping me do this.
Thank you, darling. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll be all soppy.
Oh, look. Yeah. And, you know, it's, oh, geez. I didn't think
well, why don't
I didn't think I'd go this, like, I didn't think I'd be, you know, this emotional about it. But, yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry?
Well, I just thought we can talk about, you know, we have been through a long journey to get to where you are. I think you asked earlier what's different this time. And I just think your mental state of mind is different. You know, I think and maybe that's because you've had the surgery and you can sleep better, which then makes sort of your mental state of mind better. I think I remember watching Jerd on A Current Affair. I think I saw the ad and I taped it, and I'm like, you'd had a chat to me a day or two before, and I'm like, I'm gonna show him this one. And I was so happy that you watched it and you sort of absorbed it. I noticed you absorbed that interview and sort of mulled it over for a couple of days. And then you spoke to me and said, I think I'm going to do that. And I said, okay, and what kind of support, like, what are we going to do? And I'm really glad that this time it wasn't like you rushed in. I've got to lose the weight. I've got to do this. And normally there'll be something that will trigger you to go, that's it, I have to lose the weight. But this time you actually took the time to think and plan about the best way you can do that and sustain it. So I think that's what you've done differently.
Well, yeah, it's certainly like Jerd certainly was a catalyst for a lot of this, and I got to hand it to Adam and the boys at the Man Shake, and ladies potentially, or ladies, yeah, definitely ladies at Man Shake and Lady Shake. They do a good job in terms of like making it like a really relatable, like down to earth product. You know, something that is, you know, tailor-made for men and tailor-made for women, you know, rather than being this one broad product. that you just buy a pack of, and you know, is like just a one size fits all kind of thing. And being that it is like such a real product, and the Manshake page was just tremendous, like the Manshake men Facebook page, and they have a Lady Shake page. Like the amount of support you get there, it's unparalleled. And I got to hand it to the Manshake. They've done it, even though they didn't create the Manshake men page, the whole community around it, I don't know what it is. They're just, everyone that's on it seems to just be absolutely awesome. I can't think of one person where I've been like, oh, well, that, you know, they seem like a bit of a dick. You know, like everyone has been just an absolute legend, and you know, your support and everyone's support has just been amazing to me. Yeah.
Something I also want to highlight, because I mean, I've been on protein shakes in the past. As a vegetarian, I do that because I need to get my protein, and I'm a bit lazy with cooking. But something I noticed is what goes into their products. They have probiotics, and they have the green tea, which is antioxidant rich. And I spent, over the past 5 years, a significant amount of time on antibiotics. You can't even fathom how many antibiotics I've had to take. It's ridiculous. And my gut, like, I was bloated constantly and just so unhealthy, which is why I was having my 17 grams of sugar with yogurt every day, because it's got probiotics. But now I don't even need to have the yogurt because that's in the shake, and I'm good to go. And I'm actually nowhere near as bloated. I'm not actually bloated at all these days. So the whole change that's had on me is I just feel better, and I can wear pants without feeling uncomfortable, which is very good for me.
Yeah.
It's a nice change.
Oh, like, I mean, yeah, I think you're looking great. And yeah, I always thought you look great because, yeah, you always been like a petite kind of, you know, gal. Like you've never really kind of ballooned out in any way, shape or form. You actually you found a way to lose weight whilst pregnant. I don't know how you did that. But
yeah, it's morning sickness.
But
food equaled vomit. I didn't want to eat.
That answers that question.
That's that. I was actually, because of medical reasons, I was 72 kilos when I fell pregnant, and I lost weight. Like, I was actually 68 kilos when I had her, because I just felt so sick.
That was like when we took you to the hospital to, you know, because Alyssa was she was 10 days overdue, so we had to kind of induce labor. Yeah, you were actually lighter than what you were when you first started. I was like, yeah, wow, I should get pregnant. But yeah, you know, so but Alyssa's just been the best thing ever. Like, she's just so cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun. She's so much fun.
But yeah, you know, okay. I think I've calmed down a bit.
Feeling better?
Yeah, you know, it's you always know it's there. But you know, to actually talk about it, it certainly hits you hard, you know. And it's a tough conversation for people to have. And if you are overweight, or if you have an overweight partner, it's tough to have that conversation. But once you get through it, you don't know, like, what, you know, like, it's just beneficial for everyone. You just don't know what will come from it. You don't know how the person will react, but have the conversation. You know, be open and honest with each other. That's the only thing I can really say about that.
I think if you're the partner, they might not want to talk or be open to it at that time, but just let them know that anytime they want to talk about their weight or their health, that you're there, so they know the support's there, and when they're ready, they can approach you and talk to you about it,
Mm.
which is what I ended up doing with you.
But now that I'm doing this in front of the camera every day, I'm all right with being in front of the camera. I'm loading up that library with photos of me and Alyssa and the family. Yeah, moving forward, I don't want to miss a minute. Like, you know, I want to look back and have her, like, cause she asked me, it's like, Dad, why do you want a smaller belly? She's 4. She doesn't understand the health implications of being overweight. And I said, well, I want a smaller belly so I can look like you. And then she's like, do I have a small belly? I'm like, yeah. I want to be fit and I want to play hide and seek with you all day long. And she's like, well, I hope you get a smaller belly soon. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, she's a big motivator, and so are you, and so is everyone on this channel. So thank you all. If you could say anything else to anyone who is thinking of starting the Lady Shake, so any ladies out there that might be watching this thinking, I might give it a crack, is there any advice that you'll give them?
I'd say just get started. I've really loved it. For me, it's the convenience, it's healthy, I have more energy, and it's really high quality ingredients. Like if you look at what's in it, it's such high quality ingredients that you know what you're putting into your body is good for you. So just give it a go. It's my best advice. No time like the present to get started and get into it.
Just get into it. That seems to be the general answer from everyone, whether it be to save money, to lose weight, you know, for all sorts of different reasons. Get into it. Just do it. It's a bit of an outlay the first buy, but when you work it out over the course of a month, you're saving big bucks. So I recommend doing it. But yeah, we might leave it at that because I got to get today's video edited and uploaded. Yeah, thank you, Ange, for taking the time and having a chat with me today. It's really appreciated, and all the support that you give me, it's just unparalleled. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, it goes both ways, and listen, I love you. We're your biggest champions. So.
But yeah, honestly, guys, thank you very much for tuning into this special episode of Fat Chat, where it was a little bit about my missus, a lot about me. Love talking about me. But honestly, the ones that stick around to the end, you guys are the best. You guys are awesome. And I love every single one of you the most. So if you know anyone that could benefit from this channel and losing weight or anything like that, please, send them my details. Ask them to subscribe to the channel and check out a few of my vids. If you want to be part of Fat Chat, all you need is a smartphone or a laptop and an internet connection, and we can, just have a bit of a chat. It is very casual kind of conversation, and I love to have you on. Doesn't matter whether you've lost 1 kilo or 1,000. It's all about the story, and you never know how your story can help motivate and inspire others to get started. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow for Tuesday. Have an awesome day. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye.